Welcome to Excel tutorial. Today, I'll teach you how I have created my profit and loss statement in Excel. So with the help of this profit and loss statement, you can completely track all your expenses, your income, and you can also find out what is going to be a net profit, gross profit, everything you'll be able to completely track with the help of this simple tracker. It also comes with graph and the required dashboard. So first, I'll show you how the profit and loss statement is going to look like. So here is how my profit and loss statement is going to look like. So at the top, I have some important key pointers like what is going to be the total income, my total expense, and then like my net income and my net profit. So like this, I have some 8 important key pointers at the top. And then below this one, I have the important graphs like how is going to be my net income, then my income was expense, and the total sales cost. So below this one, I'm having some important tables. So the first table is for my income details. So here I have listed on all my income, like my non-operating income, and I have found out what is going to be my total income over here. Next is I have the expense details table. So here I have like listed down all my expenses and what is going to be my non-recurring expense and what is the total expense I have found out. So below this, I have the tax detail table. So all the taxes has been listed, and then finally I have found out what is the net income and the net profit at the below. So this is the complete 3 important tables I have, and I have completely built the profit and loss statement. So I'll teach you from scratch how you can create a profit and loss statement like this. Let's get started. I have opened a new Excel, and then I'll go and name the sheet as profit and loss. So first, let me try to go and completely select all the cells over here. I'll say merge center. So let's try to have the title over here as profit and loss statement. So I'll do the required formatting for my title. I'll make it bold, and I can just try to make it center align. And then let's try to fill this with the color. So this is going to be my title for the entire sheet. So next is I'll give some space at the top to have my key pointers and then my graph, the dashboard completely over here. So I'll give some space at the top, and then let me try to come below, and then here let me try to create the tables. So first I'll just try to little bit increase the width of this particular column. So here let me try to have the first table, that is going to be my income details. So this is the first table. So first I'll have the income details, and then the other columns are going to be from Jan to December. So I'll enter Jan, and then I'll just try to flash fill till December over here. I can completely select this. I'll increase size, make this bold, and I'll also fill this with the color. So this is going to be the important table. So below this one, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have all my income listed below this one. So let's say first I'll try to list down what is going to be my total sales revenue. So I'll say total sales revenue, and I can just try to enter the values for each and every month. So let's say it's going to be 23,000, and for the next month, let's say 34,000. For the next month, let's say 32,100, and for the next month, let me give 40,500. So I've just entered the values. Next is I'll try to go and have the what is going to be the total cost of sales. So total cost of sales. So for example, let's say we're going to like sell a product. So what is going to be the total revenue we have generated from that we have entered, and then what is going to be the cost of sales. For example, we are purchasing the product or whatever it's going to cost to make us the product. So that value we'll have over here so that we can able to find the gross profit easily. So here, let me say it's going to be $12,400. And then for the next month, I'll say 10,900. Next month, let's say 13,200. And for the next month, I'll have 12,800. So this is going to be the detail. So you can just try to go and enter for the complete year. So I'm just trying to show you for the first 4 months over. So now I can just completely select all the cells over here, and then I'll just try to format this as a currency formatting. So I'll format it as US dollars over here. So below this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to go and have my calculate my gross profit. So I'll say gross profit. So the gross profit is nothing but it's going to be equal to, so my total sales revenue subtracted by the total cost of sales. So this is going to be my gross profit. So I can just try to flash fill this formula entirely from my January to December. So this formula I can just try to flash fill. So here we are not getting any values since there is no value we have entered for like the total sales revenue and for the total sales cost. So I'll just try to completely select the gross profit. So this one of the key row. So I'll just try to completely make this bold, and I can also fill this with the color. So next is I'll try to list down what is going to be my non-operating income. So this is nothing but the operating income. So let's say like non-operating income, I can have some rental income. So I'll say rental income, then I can have some interest income. So some income coming from my interest. So if any other incomes are there, I can just say other incomes. So like this, I can just try to have the other income. So I'll just try to go and enter the values for these incomes. So now I have entered the values. So I'll also completely select this here. So till here, I'll completely select it, and I'll also format this as US dollars. So next is I'll try to come here and then calculate what is going to be my total non-operating income. So I'll say total non-operating income. So that's nothing but it's going to be equal to, so the sum of all the values. So here I'm using the sum function. So I'll say is equal to sum of, and then I'll completely select all these incomes, and then I'll press enter. So here is the sum of the all the value. So I'll just try to completely flash fill for the entire year over here. So this is the total non-operating income, whatever we have found out. Now this is also going to be an important column. So here I'll just try to completely like highlight this. So I'll also increase the width of this column, and I can just try to fill this with the color. So now I'll try to find what is going to be my total income. So I'll say total income. So the total income is nothing but it's going to be equal to whatever is going to be with gross profit, whatever I have from my sales, that gross profit plus the non-operating income. So that's going to be the total income for me. So I'll try to completely flash fill this completely over here. And then this is one of the important key pointer. I'll try to highlight this. So this is the complete income table. So here we have listed down our sales income and other non-operating income, and then we have found out what is going to be the total income. Next, let me try to go and do for the expense table. So here I'll have my expense details, and similarly I'll have all the months listed. So I'll have from January to complete till December. I'll completely select this is going to be the header. So I'll completely select this, increase size, make it bold, and I'll fill this with the color. So below this one, I can try to enter all my expenses. Whatever expenses I have, I can just try to list down all the expenses over here. So let's say first I'm going to have like office rent, and then let me say the next is going to be like I'm going to spend some expense on the advertisement, so like to run ads. Next, I'm like spending some amount for software purchases. And next, let me say it's going to be for salary, like for salary of employees. So I'm just trying to spend some amount. So all these can be some of my expenses, right? So I can try to go and enter the value, whatever I'm spending for each and every month. For these particular expenses, I can just try to fill this in this table. So now I have entered the values for all my expenses. So for the first 4 months I have entered. So I'll completely select this, and I'll format this into US dollars. Then I'll try to come and find out what is going to be my total operating expense. So all these are some of the operating expense. So I'll say total operating expenses, and it's nothing but it's going to be sum of all the expenses, whatever values for each and every month I have. So I'll select these cells, and then I'll just try to flash fill this formula entirely till December. So this is going to be one of the important indicator. So I'll do the formatting for this. Next, I'll try to enter what all non-operating expenses I'm going to have. So here, like we can have like non-recurring expenses. For example, like we can say, which are not going to like we're not going to spend each and every month. Sometimes we can spend, sometimes we cannot also spend. So I'll try to enter the non-recurring expenses over here. So let's say the first is going to be like accounting, accounting expense, and then we'll have operational discount. So these can be some of my non-recurring expenses. So I'll just try to go and enter the values for the first 4 months over here. So now I have entered the values over here. So now I'll try to find out the total non-recurring expense, how much is going to be that. So it's going to be is equal to sum of all my non-recurring expense. So I'll select this and then I'll just try to flash fill this particular formula. So I'll completely select this and then I'll highlight this particular column. So now we have our operating expense and our non-recurring expense. Now I'll try to calculate what is going to be my total expenses. So my total expenses, it's nothing but it's going to be equal to, so the total operating expense plus my non-recurring expense. So that's going to be the total expense. So I'll completely try to flash fill this here. So now we have got the total expenses for each and every month. So I'll try to go and highlight this. So now we have listed down all our expenses and then I try to find what is going to be my total expenses over here. So next is the next table what we're going to do is for the tax details. So I'll say tax details and then here also I'm going to have all my months listed. So I'll just try to completely fill till December. Now I can just try to completely highlight this header column. So next here below this tax details, I can try to list down all my taxes. Like let's say I'm going to have my income taxes and then we can have payroll tax and then other taxes. I can just say it like tax 1 and then I'll just say it as tax 2. So these can be some of the taxes which I have to pay each and every month. So I'll just try to enter the values for the months. So now I have filled the tax values. So I'll completely select this and then format this to US dollars. So now I'll try to find out what is going to be my total taxes. So I'll say total taxes, it's going to be equal to, so the sum of all my taxes. So I'll completely select this. Then here is my total taxes. So I'll just try to have it completely till here. So this is going to be my total taxes. So I'll completely select this particular row and I'll just try to highlight this. So this is going to be the total taxes over here. So now we have like completed our income, expenses and taxes. Now I'll try to find out what is going to be my net income. So I'll try to find the net income. So the net income is nothing but it's going to be equal to whatever is going to be my total income. So total income subtracted by the total expense subtracted by how much our tax I have paid. So this is the formula. So now I have selected the cells and then I'll press enter. So here is my net income, you can see. Now I'll try to flash fill this formula for the entire year. So here you can see the net income for the first 4 months in this particular table. So net income is also one of the key pointer. So I'll just try to highlight this. So next is we'll try to have a particular row where in case if we are going to have some share distributions in a company, we can try to have the share distributions listed over here. So I'll say total share distributions and I'll try to enter the value for each and every month what is going to be the share distribution. So let's say this is going to be the share distribution. I'll also make this into US dollars. Now I'll completely highlight this. So below this one, I'll try to find out what is going to be my net profit. So the net profit is nothing but my net income subtracted by the share distribution. So how much of a share distribution I have done. So we subtract that, then that is going to be the net profit whatever I have made in that particular month. So the formula is going to be is equal to, so my net income subtracted by the total share distribution. So this is going to be the formula and then I'll just completely select this and then I'll highlight this. So this is one of the very key important indicator in our complete table. So we have found out our net profit for the entire year with the help of this simple formula over here. So these are the important details. So first we have created the income details, then the expense details, then the tax details table. So finally we have found out what is going to be the net profit. So now we'll try to go and have a dashboard ready at the top. So I'll just try to select these two cells. I'll say merge center, and then below also I'll just try to say merge center. So here let's try to have some of our key pointers. So let's say the first key pointer is going to be my total income, and then below I'll just try to merge center. So here I'll just give some space, and again I'll just try to have another like key pointer. So let's say next is going to be my total sales revenue. So how much ever is going to be my total sales revenue, I can just have this below. So next I'll just try to select this completely over here, and then I'll say merge center. So here I'll have what is going to be my total expenses, and below I'll merge center. So here I'll have what is going to be the total cost of sales, and next here I'll just try to merge center. So here I'll have my net income, and below this one let me try to have my net profit. So these are the important columns, like the key pointers, whatever we're going to have. So now I'll completely select this, and then I'm just trying to increase the size of this, and I'll make this bold. Also I can make it center align. So if you want, we can also draw a all border box over here. So now I can try to come and like fill this with the colors. So I'll just try to fill the key pointers with a color. So these are key pointers. So now we'll try to come and calculate what is going to be my total income. So the total income is here. You can see in the income table, I have the total income. So whatever key pointers we have, it is for the entire year. We need to find what is going to be the total income. So I'll say is equal to, so sum of, I'll open the brackets, and then here I'll completely select the entire year over here, and then I'll close the bracket. So this is going to be the total income. So here you can see this is my total income. Next is the total sales revenue. So here you can see the sales revenue is over here. So I want to find it for the entire year. So I'll be using the sum formula. I'll say is equal to sum. And then I'll just try to completely select from January to December. And this is my total sales revenue is there. So next we'll have a total expenses. So total expenses, it is there in the expense table. So I'll say is equal to sum, and then I'll try to find the sum of the total expenses for the entire year. I'll completely select the range, and then I'll close the bracket. So this is my total expenses. Now is total cost of sales. So the total cost of sales, we have it in our income details. So this is the total cost of sales, we have it. So I'll find the sum of those values. So I can completely select this, and then this is my total cost of sales. Next is going to be my net income, net profit. So the net income, I have it here, and the net profit I have over here. So I'll say is equal to sum of, and I'll open the brackets. So I'll come down, and then I'll completely select the net income over here, and then so this is my net income, and then let's try to find the net profit. So I'll say is equal to sum of, and then here I have the complete net profit. So I'll select it. So here you can see this is my net profit. So now I have found out the values for all my key pointers over here. So next is we'll have some important graphs to see how well our profit and loss statement is. So for that one, first let's try to create a graph for our net income. So I'll just first try to completely select the months, and then the complete net income, I'll just try to select it. I'll go to insert, and then let me try to insert a 2D column chart. So here is my chart. So I've got the chart. So I'll just try to move the chart, and let me keep it here. I can little bit maybe increase the size of the chart. So the chart title is going to be my net income, and these colors I can change it. So I'll go and try to change the colors. Maybe we'll have these colors over here. So for each and every month, whatever is going to be my net income, I'll be easily able to see with the help of this particular graph. So this is a graph for my net income. Next, let me try to create a graph for what is going to be my total income and my total expenses. So I'll just try to create a graph for that. So I'll select the total income and the total expenses. So I'll go and then I'll create a donut chart. So here you can see my donut chart. So I completely select this and then we can change the colors. So I'll go and I'll try to change the colors over here. So instead of the blue color, let me try to have a green color. And the expenses is we can have it in a red color, little bit light red. This color we'll just try to have it. Like orange color, I'll just try to have it. So here is my chart for my income versus expense. So I'll have the chart title as income versus expenses. So this is going to be my chart. So income versus expenses. So if you want to change this to any other different color or like this, if you want to change it, you can just try to change it. So here like this, we'll have it. So there are different chart designs are available. So you can just change it, but I'll just try to have it like this. So you can just try to have it like this. So in case if you want to add like any chart elements, like I'll just try to go and have the maybe at the right hand side if I want, I can just try to have this in the right hand side. So the old colors I'll delete. So I'll have like this. And then if I want to have some labels, like what is going to be the percentage, I can just have my labels also over here, like 17% and 83%. So how much is going to be the contribution of my total income and my expense. So that also we can see it with the help of this particular graph. So next is our sales is going to be one of the important key factor for the like profit in the business. So I'll try to create a graph for the total sales revenue. So I'll completely select this and then the month, and next I'll select the complete total sales revenue. So here I'll go to insert and then we can have like a bar chart, or if you want even you can create a line chart like this. So I'll just try to create a line chart. So here is my line chart. So you can see how the sales is done. So I'll change this to total sales revenue. So this is going to be the title for my chart. So now you can see with the help of this graph, like how the sales has gone up. So from January, it's somewhere here, and then February, a little bit down in March, and then again, it's a good rise in the April. So like, with the help of this line chart, you'll be able to see how the sales revenue is there for the entire year easily. So this is how you can create a simple profit and loss statement with the three important tables: our income table, our expense table, and a tax detail table. And we can try to find out what is going to be the net income, net profit, and all the key pointers at the top. With the help of these graphs, you'll be easily able to track all your profit and loss with the help of this simple sheet. So if you wish to use this profit and loss statement or download this profit and loss statement, I have given the link in the description. You can try to go and download the profit and loss statement from that. Also, I have created multiple templates for small businesses like bookkeeping, project management, CRM, and many other templates I've created. If you want to download these templates, you can visit my website plrduck.com and then you can try to go and download all these templates from there. So the great thing about these templates is that all these templates comes for both Google Sheet and Excel. And the important thing is it comes with master resale rights and commercial rights. You can try to edit these templates as per your wish and then share it with as many people you like. You would have liked this video. Please do like and subscribe my channel for more such content. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I'll see you in another Excel or Google Sheet tutorial.